And then whatever's in the grade book is what I send. But I'm saying this emphatically. Please, if you believe you will get a D or an F, tell your parents in advance. Mom, I'm making half a joke. Mom, my current grade is a D or an F. Rama says, if I don't turn in 3 assignments a night, I won't make the deadline. I'm not doing 3 or 4 assignments, Mom. Therefore, I won't meet the deadline. So, Mom, I'll probably get a D or an F. And your mom will probably want to punch you and say, do 3 or 4 assignments. No, but Mom, I have no plans to do 3 or 4 assignments. I know if I need to meet the deadline, I have to be turning in. Is that funny, Baba? So, if I need to meet the deadline, I should be turning in 3 or 4 a night. But Mom, I'm letting you know I'm not doing that. So, 1 week from now, I'm just letting you know, according to Aries, I'll have an F in the class. And Rama has warned me. He's been telling me for a long while. So it is not a sudden thing. That's what he's going to give me. Because that's what the grade book will say. And your mom will say, okay. She's a nice mother. She'll just say, okay, I understand. You're my favorite. I still love you. Okay, so there won't be any surprise as far as grades go. But you need to be doing work to pass the class. You can't say on a daily basis, I'm turning in nothing, but just magically have these stack of assignments that I'm going to turn in on Monday. Okay, guys, here's what we're doing today. We're discussing some... Taurus is absent today.
He has the exam.
He what?
He's at the physics exam.
Oh, he's in physics. Okay. You didn't have to speak with your mouth. You might choke. Yeah. No, I'm not scolding. I'm just saying it's not safe to speak with your mouth. Okay, guys. So we're going to have some insanely hard AB questions. If you got these AB questions, this will have a very, very low pass rate. But as I've said, sometimes the AB class gets crazy hard questions. Where's Marquez? She's ill?
She's
She's up. Okay, look at the board, please. So, for those of you who took the 158 retake, this wasn't the AB exam. This was on the retake of the AB exam. So, read it with me, please. Read it with me. It says, a store is having a 12-hour sale. The total number of shoppers who have entered the store 3 hours after the sale begins is given by S of t. At time equal to 0, when the sale begins, there are no shoppers in the store. So I'm giving you time to process any of that information you want. Write anything you want. I'll pick on one of you to tell me what you wrote. Ms. Nuro, tell me anything you wrote. Just tell me one thing you wrote, if you wrote something.
I wrote SOT and I wrote what SOT is.
Ms. Rani, tell me anything you wrote. And what else did you write, if anything else? What did you write? What is SOT? You just copied down SOT basically. Yeah. Okay. Ms. Hanson, tell me anything you wrote.
The function and then SOT is the total number of shoppers. And then S of 0 equals 0. S of 0 equals 0.
Okay, you're making mistakes in notation. Let's ask Javidi. Javidi, what do you write?
I put SOT equals A of t, which is just the function up there, and S of 0 equals 0.
Miss Wynn, what do you write? Okay, see, she's using a different letter. She says N of 0, 0. Okay? But small thing. Here's my question to the class. Is S of t the rate in function? Is S of t the rate in function? Now I'm going to say something, see if I'm making sense. S of t is the original function for the rate in function. How many of you understand what I've just said? Okay, imagine there was a rating function. Can you see it will have an original function? This is the original function for that rating function. So in other words, S of t just stands for the number of shoppers or amount of shoppers entering the store. I don't care about the function, the actual function in function form. I care about what S of t stands for. It is the number of shoppers at time t. And then I would encourage you to do, like virtually all of you got the notation wrong. Ms. Huyn got it right. It's basically A of 0 is 0 or N of 0 is 0. Writing S of 0, 0, you might have trouble. Okay, S of 0 is obvious. Like if you plug in 0 there, won't you see 0? No, you understand. S of 0 is 0 for a different reason. But when they say number of shoppers in the store, can you see that sentence has nothing to do with the entering function? And it's an important idea. So I'm surprised how some of you made errors like that. So S of 0 has nothing to do with A of 0. Number of shoppers in the store is 0. That's that guy. All right, we're doing part A. So I want you to interpret the question, write something down on your piece of paper. Like this is what I will find. Remember, you're allowed a calculator. So I'm not asking a trick question. I'm just saying interpret the question, write something down. Like this is what I will find. It says, at what rate are the shoppers entering the store at t equal to 3 hours after the store opens? Miss Ariana, what are you writing?
I wrote integral 0 to 3 s dash of t dt.
That would be true if this. Okay, I understand what you did though. He's like touching his nose this way. Ms. Reining, what are you writing?
I did S dash of t and then 3.
Yeah, it's just S dash of 3. Correct? At what rate? That's the entering function. At what rate? Nobody speaks. I do not emphasize this enough. What are my units going to be? Nobody speaks. What are my units going to be? Well, some of you don't read units, and they may take points off. Because they always give units for every problem. What are my units going to be? It is not a trick question. Yes, Mr. Sandigo.
People per hour.
People per hour, shoppers per hour. Both of them are acceptable. It will be shoppers per hour or people per hour. Both would be acceptable. Okay, reading part B. Part B says, find the value of 1 over 3 integral 6 to 9 s dash t dt. Okay? And then it says, interpret it in context using units. So here's my question to the class. Just write down something like, this is what I will do on a calculator, this is what I plan to do. They have that. So what will you do? Nobody speaks. I'll pick on one of you to say, okay, this is what, I will describe what I do. This is what the question says, this is the expression. So how will you compute it? So what will you do on a calculator? You're just describing exactly what you would do on a calculator. You don't need to write anything extravagant. I don't want you to take a calculator, but I just want to tell me how would you calculate that. Mr. Villafuerte.
So go on the calculator, go on the graph function, put in F of t, then go into calculator, put 1/3 bracket, the mustache key, put in a row. Oh wait, no. Sorry, go back to graph and then find the derivative of f of 1 and then go to calculator, then 1/3 bracket, integral 6 to 9, f of 2, f of 2x.
Mr. Dan, you tell me what you would do. Ms. Rios, you tell me what you would do. By the way, this may be the right answer. I'm making sure everybody understands this is what they would do. Or you have another way. Ms. Rios, you tell me what you would do.
Find S dash of t by taking the derivative and then graphing and then just going to calculating.
This tells me I'm a terrible teacher, correct? I'm a terrible teacher. Ms. Huyn, what would you do? Net change, thank you. 1 over 3, tell me what you do. S of 9 minus S of 6. Clearly, I'm not doing a good job. Like you see that expression and nothing occurs to you. I'm letting myself know, like, my God, I did a horrible job of teaching. If you guys are going to do that on a calculator, you find the derivative and then plug it in. It's like going forwards and then going backwards. You'll come back to that spot. Okay, let's do part B, please. Let's do part B. It says, and I hope the rest of the class understands. Does everybody understand? We are not even confident they'll do that correctly. How many of you understand that? That is such a complicated operation. I have no confidence these students who said we would do that, we would even do it correctly. There are so many operations going on here. I don't have confidence. You do it correctly. Okay, see if you can write the second part. It says, using correct units, explain the meaning of that expression. Write me a sentence. Interpret it exactly the way it's written. So using correct units, interpret the meaning of that expression. Again, do not overthink the problem. Interpret it exactly the way it's written. The context is there for you. Write me a detailed context. Don't give me a BS context 5 days from the AP exam. Ms. Ryan. Average what? Average what? Is that what this is? Then you can't say that. Do you see? Where is the word rate coming from? What expression are you looking at and you say, I'm going to say rate? Because the rule is you interpret exactly what you see. You do not say something just because you feel like it. So you say average rate of what? Okay, continue. Give me the full sentence. Give me a full sentence. But your first attempt was incorrect. It wasn't the average number of shoppers. But continue. Go on. Average rate. Continue. I just want to see if your English is fine. How are you ending it? Read the question for the context if you need to. No. Begin from the beginning. The average rate.
The average rate of shoppers entering.
Read the question again. Give me more context. Context just means, for those of you who don't get it, background information from the question. You're not giving me enough background information. Writing it there in the question. You just need to write it down. You lose easy points. You recognize that on your last day 158 FRQ retake. You leave a lot of points on the table because you're just not writing enough details. Just get it from the question. It's telling you. So for example, if it says distance, you will not say distance. You'll say distance from Hillcrest to the Starbucks at Pierce and Riverwalk when it is open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm not even kidding. You'll give me all the details that are relevant to the problem. Ms. Hanson.
Indicates the average rate of change in the number of shoppers in the store.
Interesting interpretation. So what's this? Do you observe she said average rate of change? For the kids who are going to get me a 5. Which expression is she looking at? This guy. So can you see that it kind of reminds you of MSEC? So that's average rate of change. And what's the S function stand for again? The number of shoppers. She got it perfectly right. So it's the average rate of change of the number of shoppers. Continue and end it. Average rate of change of the number of shoppers.
In the store from 6 to 9 hours.
Or entering the store, not in the store. Please. A of T is the number of shoppers in. How many of you understand my distinction? A of T is the number of shoppers in the store. But S of T, that's why Ms. Hanson, you're not overthinking it. Get it from the question. The question says entering, you say entering. If it says leaving, you say leaving. It says in, you say in. So continue, please. Number of average rate of change of the
number of shoppers entering the store from 6 to 9 hours.
Or rather, not 6 to 9 hours. From T equal to 6 to T equal to time. Okay. Okay, Mr. Psychosi, give me an alternate explanation. Rhyming began an interpretation. Take the ball and run. So she's using this guy. She's using this guy. How do you interpret that expression?
The average rate of change.
We already did average rate of change. So we're out. We're out. Interpret that guy. No. Psycho Z. Just interpret this guy, the way it's written. Remember, smart kids, we have done multiple interpretations. We can interpret this guy or that guy. She interprets that guy. That's perfectly fine. Interpret the left guy.
Because like, I'm not really sure how to word it because I just go with like average, and then since SAT defines the number of shoppers. It's
Okay, but writing was helping you. So then what would this stand for? And just read it the way it is.
That's the rate, the average of the rate at which shoppers are.
There you go. It's not too bad. So once again, writing, just take the bottom number. Is the average rate at which shoppers enter the store. So guys, I did not put on a show. Make sure you wrote on both. Because you're saying actually both are the same. We've done this in the class before. You're going to interpret it this way, or again, the average rate at which shoppers, or you can say rate of the number of shoppers, a rate at which the number of shoppers is entering. Okay, number of shoppers are entering the store. Between t equal to 6, what is it? 6 and 9. T equal to 6 and t equal to 9. Okay. But guys, I hope you're a little humble. These are AB questions. These have been appearing on the AB exam. Okay, let's do C, please. Let's discuss C, please. C says, read C with me. Read C with me. C says the rate at which shoppers leave the store, measured in shoppers per hour, is modeled by L of T. So what's L of T? Is that just L of T? Is that the rate out function? What we always do? Because we do E of T, L of T. So what's this? So we have, now we're doing C. So L of T is basically the rate out function. So we're good. Now stop. If we have a rate out function, what two things should we immediately start doing? Or what else should I do? I can't hear you. Sorry. Okay, no, we already did the original function, remember? So A dash of T. Now careful. Who's smart? As I love you people. Can you see that was the original function? So E of T will be S dash of T. Make a note because some of you are weak and say I don't know what's going on. S of T is the original function. So E of T is actually S dash of T. So she smartly says S dash of T minus L of T. Is everybody okay there? Please don't memorize this. I hope it is very obvious from the structure of the problem. Okay, now the question says, according to this model, read it with me. According to this model, how many shoppers are in the store at the end of T equals 12? So what do we just need? A of 12, which is A of 0 plus integral 0 to 12 A dash, which is S dash of T minus L of T. Now watch. We've never done a problem like this before. Can I actually split it up because they're a weird function? Can you see that's a rate that's the original function, but that's a rate function. Okay. So watch what happens when I split it up. It becomes much easier than it looks. By the way, what was A of 0? Was it 0? There was nobody in the store, right? So that is 0. So is that 0 to 12 S dash of T? Because I want to show you a concept. Minus integral 0 to 12 L of T. Is everybody okay with that concept? If you have advanced skills, what's going on here? So what do I just write? S of 12, correct? I hope it makes intuitive sense. Like intuitively. Now look at the board so you understand this. Everybody, I want you, because Psycho C says it makes perfect sense. What's this? Do we need the number of people who enter the store till 12? Isn't that what S tells you? By definition, S tells you how many people are in the store at any time T. So it makes intuitive sense. Minus, is that a calculator problem? The calculator will do that. So S of 12 calculator, 0 to 12 L of T calculator. Now here's the reason for it. Put your pencils down. Put your pencils down. Because if you did not recognize that, are you going to end up doing what Mr. Villafuerte, Rios, and Mr. Dan was suggesting? Take the derivative and then integrate. You understand what their method is. But if you recognize, that's just FTC2 or net change, you'll be fine. Okay. So not a difficult problem. Okay, we're doing D together. But just be alive of all the different components. D says, using the given models, find the time T at which the number of shoppers in the store is at its greatest. So what are we just doing? What are we finding? Absolute max of A of T, the number of shoppers in the store. So we should consider endpoints and critical points. 0 to 12. So endpoints. If you do what we do. Oh my God, Huan is absent today. What's Huan up to today?
Physics test.
He's a physics test? Oh yeah, that's right. No. The reason is this. Huyn shows no work. He just has a bunch of T's. Look at the board. Here's what Huyn does. He just says T and then just the corresponding A of T with no work, nothing. And he gives him some points. I wanted to scold him. You have to do what we do, guys. You have to. Okay, what's the grading rubric from the weekend? Look at me. You cannot do. Okay, Ariano, I'm just letting you know. I've already talked smack about you. I think that's the American expression in all my other classes. Because this is me and Ariano yesterday. Ariano, did you grade your weekend homework? He said, yeah. I said, did you look at every word? Kind of. I'm like, what is kind of? It's either yes or no. It's like pregnancy. You're either pregnant or you're not. So he says, kind of. I said, explain what you do. He says, I look at the final answer. If the answer is right, I give myself points. That's what Huyn does. He would lose so many points, Ariano. So I said, screaming at him, Ariano, take it back. I said, make sure you grade every word. What's this? This is the weekend homework. Grading rubric. It says, Ariano, I know it's in English and not in Tagalog, but pay attention. You must read every word below. Your answer must match the rubric in its entirety below or the grading notes below. Observe how detailed it is. What's this? Can you see this T? And that's A of T. Huyn just writes a bunch of numbers here, a bunch of numbers here, without telling you what those numbers are. The AP will take points off. You need to do what we do. So, and this is me clarifying. How many of you have observed this? They've started writing English sentences or conclusion. But this is me saying, no, sentence not required. It's okay. Part B, straightforward. Set it up this way. This is 140, the weekend homework. Oh, I meant it isn't too bad if you've been studying previous grading rubrics. Here's an easy way to think about it. Part D, straightforward. 1 point for that, 1 point for this, 1 point for that, 1 point for the conclusion in context. You need to be reading this. Every line gets read. There's a reason why Miss Dong and Miss Park, you don't see them. But during lunch, they will be looking at every line saying, oh, you missed that. Or for bias, to reduce bias, each grades the other. So they know they're very, very harsh. They look at every word of the grading rubric. And that's why I'm just telling you, even this girl, their MCQ scores on take-home tests match exactly your semester final or the other tests we graded. It's not surprising. The rest of you is like inflated scores. Like Huyn, he says negative 12. And I'm thinking the AP grade will be negative 18 or negative 20. He might fall from 5 to a 4. So I called him and left a message. He didn't respond. The scoundrel. Anyway, those of you who are Huyn's friends, what is that? Does not exist. Anyway, tell him Rama needs to talk to you. Okay. All right. So abs and maths, those are endpoints. Okay, stop. Please understand this is a weird problem. So should we find critical points? Okay, remember, put your pencils down. Put your pencils down so you can pay attention to what I'm doing. Usually when we do critical points, is that a nice function, E of t? Is that a nice function, L of t? Now here's how we do this on a calculator. We graph it and observe where the things switch signs. Is that clear? But can you see that's actually S dash of t? So now you should do what's his name? VF was saying. Can you do numerical derivative minus L of t? You understand that? So it's basically I'm showing you the work. Critical points A dash of t. It's smart to show this. The AP always shows a step. A dash of t, which is S dash of t minus L of t, should be 0. They'll say considers S dash of t minus L. How many of you have seen that expression? Considers this. They always, those of you reading a rubric, you'll see it. Okay, we can grab that and you get monkey, donkey, answer the question. Is that clear? Make sure you plug it into A. I showed you how to do A. So that was a very challenging problem given the AB exam. Let's do another one. Okay, read it with me. So we're discussing 4 problems, start to finish, very challenging problems. So it says, the figure above shows an above ground swimming pool in the shape of a cylinder with a radius of 12 feet and a height of 4 feet. Okay. The pool contains 1,000 cubic feet of water at time equal to 0. So what am I writing? A of 0, B of 0 equals 1,000 cubic feet or feet cube, or you can write V of 0 if you're smart. That's just the volume of the water. It says during the time interval 0 to 12, water is pumped into the pool at the rate P of t. So what's P of t? So that's basically E of t, the entering function. Okay, that's the rate in function. And the table above gives those values, all right? Selected values of t. During the same interval, read on please with me. During the same time interval, water is leaking from the pool at a rate R of t. So R of t is really, okay, is really L of t. So that's the rate out function. Okay, they give it to you as 25 e to the power negative 0.05 t. Remember, it is a calculated problem, so relax. And they also say, it's probably relevant for one of the later parts, they also say the volume of cylinder is given by pi r squared h. Okay, so V equals pi r squared h. They also give you value, the general radius of the cylinder, height of the cylinder. Is that clear? Okay, we're doing part A. Part A says, use a midpoint Riemann sum with 3 subintervals of equal length to approximate the total amount of water that was pumped into the tank. So give me a left-hand side. Again, if you always use left-hand side, show left-hand side, then a right-hand side. Some of you directly start writing random shit. What's my left-hand side going to be? Integral 0 to 12 p of t, because that's the entering function. Now read the question again. If you want to get that 5, what should I not forget to write? Approximately. Okay, let's do, they say what? Midpoint Riemann sum. Guys, let's just do the first one and the last one, okay? What's the first midpoint? 4 times plus dot dot dot. What's the last one? 4 times 62. Now I'm mocking myself. Wasn't there just one more? I wrote ellipses as if there are lots of them. Like, hey, let's not waste time, guys, let's not waste time. And I'm making a joke about it that we have totally have done the middle one. So I wasted even more time. I wasted even more time as I say that I'm wasting time. I hope you recognize that. Okay, let's read on. Okay, watch this. So it says, use a midpoint Riemann sum of 3 subintervals of equal length to approximate total amount of blah, blah, blah. Show computation lead to the answer. Is that clear? Okay, nobody speaks. Read the question again if you need to. What are my units? Read what we found. Tell me the units. Because some of you are screwing up every unit question. It's like you're not even aware of what you're finding. But the question tells you what you're finding. Ms. units. Cubic feet. Feet cube. Those are the total amount of water. Okay. Okay, we're doing B, please. Stay with me, do not fall behind. We're doing B. B says, calculate the total. Oh, by the way, before I forget, can you write that answer to be monkey? Is relevant. Call it monkey. No, set your answer equal to monkey. Before the units, say that's monkey. Okay, it's relevant. Okay, we'll do B, please. Calculate the total amount of water that. Give me a left-hand side. Ms. Hanson, what are you writing? No, so for part B, you're just writing L of t. So tell me anything and everything you write for B. Shh. Yes, no, maybe. Because you seem uncertain. That's why I'm giving you time to think about it.
Integral 0 to 12.
There you go. Or R of t, right? Which is 25 e to the power of negative 0.05 t dt operator. Is that calculated problem? Easy. Let's call it a donkey. Is that okay? That'd be donkey. Okay, we're doing C, please. Everybody, we're doing C. Now pay close attention to the question. It says, use the results of part A and B to approximate the volume of water in the tank at 12. So give me a left-hand side, give me a right-hand side. Shut up! I'm giving them thinking time. Otherwise, you're ruining it for them. So it says, find the volume of water in the tank at t equal to 12. Give me a left-hand side and a right-hand side. Just interpret the way it is. Mr. Ordaz. It says, what's the volume of water in the tank at t equal to 12?
Volume of water is V of 0 plus.
Oh, okay. But first, interpret the question. Give me a left-hand side.
Left hand side.
What am I finding on the left-hand side? Like, this is what I'm finding.
We're finding the V of 12.
Why is it taking so long?
I don't know.
Oh my God, you're cleverer than this. V of 12. Could you also write A of 12? Okay, continue, Mr. Oraz.
Okay, so v of 0 plus integral, yeah, 0 to 12 e of t minus over t.
Thank you. Is that actually P of t minus R of t? If you're just alive to what's going on, minus R of t. Okay, what's v of 0 given to you? 1000. Okay, now careful. Like the previous problem, look at me. You're learning, like intelligence, you understand patterns. Like in the previous problem, is the entering function a weird guy, the leaving function a weird guy? What do we do for that problem? We split it up. So write 0 to 12 p of t dt minus integral 0 to 12 r of t dt. Wait a second. What is that guy? Now observe this. Observe the next step. Which clever fellow will tell me why I'm writing this, and now observe this. Why at that step? Because B was an approximation. Can you see part B was an approximation? Do you see that? So when I'm writing this equals that. But now it becomes an approximation. And now, look at me. So why it makes perfect sense. Be precise. So 1000 plus monkey minus donkey. Is that clear? Yes.
What did donkey earlier?
Sorry?
Would it take off place if you wrote the approximation earlier?
To answer your question, would they take off? Probably not. But I, as a teacher, need to be mathematical. This is equal to that, and that's equal to that. There's no reason to approximately, right? Isn't that equal to that? Does everybody understand her question? What if I wrote approximately earlier? And my question to you would be, why is it approximately that? Isn't that equal to that? I hope you understand why. No, I know. But so that's why this is teaching. So you understand, there's no reason, yes, ask me.
So would you have to do all that, or could you directly plug in the numbers that you found?
Yeah, but show some work, right? Yeah? Okay, let's do dv. Everybody, we're doing d. Oh, another thing. Guys, I've said this before, but obviously it's not penetrating some of you. What's this? You need to read instructions. If you do not read, and let me be emphatic, clear, they will take a points off. Not because you're like silly or stupid, but you're just not following instructions. It says round your answer to the nearest cubic foot. Do it. Like, can you not? Like, writing after her retake, she came to me and said, writing, it says using units. You haven't used units. And she says, okay, let me go back and fix the units. You remember? Just read the problem, please. It says round your answer nearest. Just follow instructions. Nothing clever. Okay, we're doing D, please. We're doing D. Okay, D says, find the rate at which the volume of the water is in the pool is increasing at t equal to 8. Ignore the second question. The second question comes later. So what are we just finding? Louder. I can't hear you. You're saying dv over dt at t equal to 8. Everybody okay there? Alright. If I'm doing related rates, I need a... And do I have a relationship? Okay, this is a lovely problem because we learned something. V equals pi r squared h. And therefore, I should use and keep in mind it's a related rates problem. Okay, tell me what to write. Pi r square dh over dt plus h times 2 pi r dr over dt. Okay, here's the challenge. So, guys, this is how I did it in all the previous classes. And then we had this discussion. What's this? And I don't have dh over dt, and I don't have dr over dt, and I don't have dv over dt. Sorry? No, I don't have dv. That's the question, silly boy. That's the question. Yes. He's gone.
Isn't it because it's a cylinder, the radius isn't going to be changing at all?
No, you're right. Okay, he's looking ahead. He says, he remembers a concept. Is that a cylinder? So does dr over dt. See, how many of you understand that? The cylinder's radius does not change. Okay, that collapses. But still, Mr. Psychosi, we still have a dilemma. We don't have dh over dt, we don't have dv over dt. Yes. No, we don't have any other functions we can solve for h. We don't have dh over dt. Okay, no, stop. No, this is an interesting problem. Here's why. Now remember, this is how I've guided you. For this problem, the correct way to do it was this. Okay. No. There's a reason I did this lesson. Notation matters. Now, no. Don't get me wrong. No, this is a learning opportunity. We tried this, it did not work. Should we try just that? Because v dash, what's this? Is that v dash of t at equal to 8? Because v dash, remember, we are using a. Because a dash of t is, can you see p and l? Was the entering function p? Is that just p of 8 minus e of 8? Did everybody get that lesson? It is okay. This learning had to happen. Like sometimes we'll do related rates, you need to be alive. Everybody put your pencils down so we can talk about this in greater depth. What we did was not wrong. But the fact that we got stuck, you said, my God, interpreting this way does not work. And I'm being honest with you, I interpreted this way too. In my previous class when I got stuck, I said, my God, I can't do the problem. And I said, wait a second, what's the other notation we could use? That guy, hey, that's just entering minus leaving, I can totally plug it in. Yes, go.
Oh, so then it would be R of 8, right?
Yes, you're right. And what's this? We need P of 8. Wait a second, isn't that in the table? 60. Okay, so that guy is actually R of 8, or P of 8, which is 60. And is that basically R of 8? They have a function. Can we plug in the function? Okay, that's just R of 8. And we're good to go. Did everybody understand the concept? We tried related, we ran into a wall. Okay, we'll interpret the other way because we have two notations. That's why I sent an FRQ strategy over the weekend. I said rewrite it in multiple ways. Okay, we'll do the second part. Now this is easy. Interpret this using notation. Like, this is what I mean. Read that second sentence. It says, how fast is the water level rising? So what are they asking for? What? Are they asking for that? And doing nothing with that? That's right, it wasn't a waste. But it's just that formula wasn't relevant. If you call this guy, say, Panther, so do we know Panther equals pi r squared? Isn't the radius given to me 4 or 12? I forget. 12 squared dh over dt, and I can just divide both sides by pi 12 squared. And I will have the answer. So I wanted that learning to happen. Is that clear? To interpret one way, you fail. Okay, last problem of the day. Okay, Marzu, this is the problem you asked me 2 weeks ago. So again, this is a problem you had on your homework. It has a very, very low term rate. Out of 9 points, some kids got like 2 points. The majority of the class. To do it honestly. But so we're discussing this. Okay, but before I move on, put your pencils down, I need to have a talk. So here's what today's lesson is all about. Where the rated and radar functions are weird. So we did one rated, what's this? So I'm discussing all the different kinds of problems we've discussed. Here, they gave you the original function for the in guy, but they gave you the radar function. Is that clear? This problem, they gave you one of the functions as a function, the other guy was on the table. So I'm kind of saying, what's the big picture? What are we doing really? What's this problem? One of the functions is a function, the other is a graph. And I'm showing you, if you have strong concepts, you set it up the way we always do, the answer will show up. It's like you don't need to feel alarmed. Okay, so let's read it together. It says, there are 700 people, read it with me. There are 700 people in line for a popular amusement park ride when the ride begins operation in the morning. Okay, now careful. Because I'm letting you know Ms. Basu got almost 9 points gone. She wasn't attentive what happens next. I'm not saying the Shema promoter point like a girl as bright as her got this wrong. But slow down. It says, once it begins operation, the ride accepts passengers until the park closes at 8 p.m. 8 hours later. While there is a line, people move on to the ride at a rate of 800 people per hour. The graph above shows the rate R of t at which people arrive at the ride throughout the day. So figure out what's really going on. Read those two sentences again. So while there is a line, people move on to the right at a rate of 800 people per hour. And the graph shows the rate at which people arrive at the right throughout the day. Write something down now. You should be able to process. Context matters. That's what you're learning in this problem. You can read it carefully, but what is the context? I hope, first of all of you did this. A of zeros was at 700 people. So here's our challenge. What's 800 and what's R of t? Ms. Rios. Look at the English words. Context matters. Because sometimes it's very obvious what's the in function, what's the out function. This is a weird problem. Okay, have a shot, Rios. Sorry? Okay, you tell me which one you're doing and you tell me what you're doing. So if you say 800, then you give me this guy. If you say R of t, then give me that guy. But if you just say leaving, I don't know which one you're talking about.
The entering is R of T.
The entering is R of t. And 800 is? Can you give her a big hand, please? She's right. Okay, here's the reason I want to make this. Put your pencils down, because I want you to only look at the board. Because if you only read that first sentence, are you not thinking that's the entering function? How many of you get what I'm saying? If you only read that first sentence, you think that's the entering function. It says, while there's a line, people move on to the right. Okay, they're entering the right. But it says, as the graph over shows R of t, people arrive at the right. You're like, what the hell? What just happened here then? Okay, so what's it? This is the rate at which people arrive at the right. And here, look at the language. That's why I was focused on language. This is the rate at which people move on to the right. Can you see that's the leaving function? You have a line. This is the rate at which you enter the line, leaving the line. That was important. So this is me telling you context matters. Okay, and then what should we do next step? A of t stands for the amount of people in the line. Amount of people in the line. These are good habits. People in the line, because it matters. There'll be a certain question. If you interpret this correctly like this, you'll understand exactly what's going on. In line at time t. Therefore, A dash of t is E of t, or R of t minus 800, or E of t minus L of t. Okay, now the problem becomes very easy. Okay, let's read it. Ms. Bali, you remember the problem? Okay, all right. I got you. Okay, read A together. Read A together. It says, how many people arrive at the right between 0 to 3? Write something down. It says, how many people arrive at the right from 0 to 3? Mr. Ariyama.
Integral 0 to 3 and then leaving, or LT.
Mr. San Diego.
Integral 0 to 3 R of t.
Silly boy. It says arrive at the right. Is arrive just an entering function?
What? Can you find that again?
No. It says how many people arrive at the right. You're interpreting as if it's a leaving function. Why?
I thought leavings, or when they leave, they enter the ride.
No. They arrive at the ride.
Oh.
So they're entering. They're not moving on to the ride. Okay. So just arrive at the ride. Okay. So it's integral 0 to 3 R of t dt. Is that clear? Oh, stop. But what's R of t really? The graph. So what do I need to find? Area. So what's this? Let's do this. We do this in MCQs all the time. So I should draw perpendiculars at sharp corners. And the ends, this is 3. Okay? So what's this? Tell me what I'll write on my sheet of paper. Tell me what I'll write. Look at that shape. Very smart. 1000 plus 1200 over 2 times, careful, 2 plus 1200 plus 800. For those of you not following, we're doing area of trapezoid. Average of the parallel sides, Ms. Hanson, average of the parallel sides times distance between the parallel sides. Over 2 times 1. Let's call this guy monkey. Okay, let's just call that guy monkey. Okay. Okay, let's do B together. Not a trick question. So, actually, kind of is. Read B, please. Read B. So it says, read it with me, please. Otherwise, you won't know what. You're just copying some random stuff. So B says, is the number of people waiting in line to get onto the right increasing or decreasing between t equal to 2 and t equal to 3? Here's why this is tricky. Now, I will discuss a problem, Mr. Ordaz. I will discuss a problem we have done a billion of. Read the question again. I'll just change the problem slightly. You'll say, oh, yeah, that's what we do usually. Is the number of people waiting in line to get on the right increasing or decreasing at t equal to 3? How many of you understand that? That is a problem we have done hundreds of. But can you see they made it weird by writing between 2 and 3? But relax. If you interpret it exactly the way we would do it, you'd be fine. So what's this? So let's treat it like as 2 to 3. So what am I writing on the left-hand side? It says, is the number of people increasing or decreasing? What am I writing on the left-hand side? A dash. What's my weird notation? But it's okay. How about 2 to 3? So what am I writing on the right-hand side? E. E was what? Is it R? Okay. So R or 2 to 3 minus 800. Everybody okay then? Do you see what I'm doing? First of all, I want you to understand why this is a slightly weird problem. Usually we do it at one single point. They gave us a range because we have a graph. Okay, let's see what's going on there. What's this? It says R from 2 to 3. Let's see what's going on there. The answer just magically showed up. If you had strong concepts, you set it up the way we always do it. Have a look at the graph. What's going on from R between 2 and 3? Look at those values. Because, for instance, what's R of 2? 1200. What's R of 3? So, this number would be would this number be any number between 800 and 1200? Does everybody understand that? That number will be any number between 800 and 1200. I don't know which one. It just says between 2 and 3. Does everybody get it? No, don't focus here. So this is basically between 800 to 1200. Guys, first of all, please don't get confused. That's not 2 minus 3. Is that clear? That's 2 to 3. Some value between 2 to 3. That's some number between 800 to 1200 minus 800. So what did your answer be? Louder? You're correct. You correctly said increasing. Why? Thank you. Will that obviously be greater than 0? And that was the logic. So write down, therefore, the number of people in the queue or in the line, I think that's the American expression, is increasing between t equal to 2 and t equal to 3. But observe, I did not break my rules. This is how we do it. Okay, we'll do 2 more parts. Okay, stay with me. Okay, read C. Let's read C together. We're almost done. C says, this is an easy, we've done it for all the other problems. It says, at what time t is the line the longest? So I'm finding absolute max of A of t. Okay. Again, Mr. What's his name? Dan, you shouldn't be struggling. Like you leave these easy problems. Like it's the absolute max of the regular function, and that's just A of t.
I didn't understand the context within the question.
So what should I do? What should I do? Endpoints, critical points. Let's look up to see what's going on with the endpoint. They didn't give us endpoints. You see that? So what endpoint should I consider? 0 and 8. Okay, smart kids, tell me what you should do for critical points. Very smart. A dash of t, which is R of t minus 800 equal to 0. Very good. So again, before I move on, look at me. Once again, I'm emphasizing this. Everybody, look at me. Usually what happens is they give us this function, they give us that function, we graph it on a calculator. Can you see this is a weird problem? But it's okay. Take the ball and run. What should I do next step? R of t equals, okay, look. 3, and R magically appears. Okay, we're wrapping it up. What should I do with this number? Plug it in. Is that A of 0? By the way, what was A of 0 given to me? 700. I have time only to do A of 3. Exactly, I'm showing you. What am I writing for A of 3? A of 0, integral 0 to 3, was that R of t minus 800? Okay, I want to see learning happen. What have we consistently done for the last 3 problems for these kind of questions? Split them up. It's not a nice function problem. And watch magic happen. Watch magic happen. Oh, is that first number 700? Is that 0 to 3 r of t dt minus integral 0 to 3 800 dt? Is everybody okay there? We found that! We are alive. We found that. Just make a note from part A. Did we call it monkey? Plus monkey. Oh, this is easy. What's the integral of 800? 800t. Lower limit, upper limit 3. So absolutely doable. Is that clear? Okay, last question of the day. Last question.
It's monkey minus 800.
Sorry?
Monkey minus 800.
Oh yeah, you're right. Minus. Thank you. Minus. There's a negative sign. Thank you. Good catch. Okay, last question of the day. Guys, you got it on the semester final, you got it on the retake. At this stage, you have to understand the patterns. It's a stupidly easy problem. Do yourselves. It says, write, but do not solve an equation involving an integral whose solution will give you the earliest time t at which there's no longer a line for the right. Again, there's no one standing in the line. Write me an expression yourselves. The time t at which there is no longer a line for the right. Again, we do Mrs. Sandy, you have a shot. If you're wrong, I'll gently correct you.
R of t equals.
R of t equals. It says there's nobody standing in line for the right.
A of c.
Okay, if you say A of t,
Equals integral 12.
if you begin A of t and you say equals, what?
A of 0.
Correct? Initially there are 7 people on the right. They should vanish somehow. So 700.
Minus.
Why minus? Because there have been people entering and leaving the right. Mr. Fernando?
Plus integral 0 to t r of t minus 800 dt equals 0.
That's it. Don't over. This is the amount of people at time t. It says everybody. Before we move on, we're done. So guys, isn't that the number of people on the line? Well, the number of people in the line should be 0. And Fernando just says, okay, A of t, good to go. Guys, so before we leave, everybody, 30 seconds please. 30 seconds. You can pack your bags. 30 seconds. So today, I'm sending you an MCQ. You have 3 days to do the MCQ and FRQ. Okay. Make sure if you have a bunch of missing work, Ms. Reining, Ms. Hanson, you should be turning in 2-3 assignments a day. Yeah, so I'm giving you a deadline till Friday to turn in just 2 assignments. I'm not collecting anything tomorrow or the day after. By Friday, you should have everything done in. Rios. Yeah, the BC exam is on Tuesday. So is 80. But you're saying we need Oh, no. Okay, I'll tell you what you're saying. T is less than 8.
Okay, yeah.
T is less than 8. Like T is not exceeding 8.
Probably 4.